run when I tell her peace. Love is love. Love is love. Hold up with it, got my back on Pippin. I'm back in kitchens with the tray. Windows tinted like how black my skin is. Scoop the shorty in it from a J. Swish, she got vision just like any women giving me the kitten. Way before the riches, nothing more to mention. I could light a block, a pot of aura glisten. Foreign on my body, that's Agora linen. I came through dripping Aquafina, I'm sipping 15, kept a weapon on me. Flow make bitches, I'm on my business. Stack chicken like what it's gon' be. Crew in the cut, hey, you want us red run when I tell her peace. Love is love. Love is love. Adios. Love is love. Love is love. Adios. Love is love. Love is love. Adios.
Time to run it all. I wake up.
Down that check, no drip this. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down that check. No drip this. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I...
All leading up to this final game right now. And we've seen Bing Bong pretty much roll over their opponents in their past matchup, but RIT Academy, we saw them earlier today, and they had a pretty decent time of it as well, able to come back from some massive deficits in terms of their map, in terms of their performance, and they ended up waking up against their opponents in the first matchup of the day. But let's see if they can do it versus the Titans that we have here in Bing Bong Esports in our grand final of the first ever Hall of Heroes.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely a challenge here for IIT Academy. The problem is I don't think have a very good sounding board for where their talent level is in regards to Bing Bong. I think once we see this map number one, or even just stage number one of the first map, we'll probably have a pretty good idea of how the rest of this match is going to look. If Bing Bong is going to come out and just destroy RIT Academy, it's going to happen, quickly, right? Whether or not RIT Academy likes it.
Yeah, so we are going to the map of Ilios first. So beautiful scenery here, Greek pillars and everything like that. So, I mean, just to start it out right off, do you have any comp predictions or anything like that? Maybe we see, because it's such an open map, probably Winston's, maybe even a Pharah if one of the teams wants to have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah, I could very much see that Winston composition coming in again. On Lighthouse, you might even see the Reinhardt getting back in the mix. On this particular stage, I would be very surprised if we did not see Winston's as the main tank lineup. It's not a guarantee, obviously. You see the Zarya already being shown by Bing Bong Esports. But I figured that there was going to be a little bit more fluidity in what Bing Bong was willing to run. You also see Mikey coming out on the Echo as the DPS. So clearly they feel a little bit more comfortable flexing. RIT, though, that's just straight up meta, right? You're not going to get any more meta than that.
Well, at least I know what to call their abilities, so that kind of helps me out. I respect, thank you, RIT. But Bing Bong, yeah. Oh, I guess they opted off the Echo. Yeah, Mikey wanting a bit more. I guess I don't know, they expected what was coming. They understood that RIT had already won a game. So fair enough. Sin's already made his way all the way up here on the pillars at this point. Just shooting his shots off on the Lucio, trying to get some chip damage off the bats. But it's just a hard duel right now on the purple side of things. Bing Bong taking a lot of hits. And Seb is just in it right now. Reaper looking around. Blue Jay, though, he's looking very, very low. But it's Zarya to land first blood on the side of Bing Bong.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see this Zarya kind of get a lot of truck here on the front line. Usually a Winston-Zarya tank match, you would think Winston's not going to output enough damage to charge that Zarya bubble and those shields and get the real damage output required. But in this case, there's good damage coming in from the Sojourn and the Reaper to really contribute to that and sort of allow this Zarya to go toe-to-toe on the front line.
Yeah, these guys are just, they're pushing them all the way back right now. Gugu at least is keeping some kills coming up for his teammates and just making sure that Zarya can keep that charge alive. Miki trying to make an entrance, and Trick has found his way all the way into the Winston bubble, and he needs to dive on out of there. Oh, what the headshot from Mikey yet again onto his doppelganger, Miki. Pretty close in the names, but very far in the aim. Mikey with another rail kill, and Trick takes out both the healers at the end to wipe out the entirety of RIT.
Yeah, again, just a good rush down composition from Bing Bong Esports. They give no opportunity here for the members of RIT to even get settled. They're all over him right at the start. Goku playing a little aggressive right there, but there that Kiriko teleport will just take him right out of danger. And here's the leap to initiate from Seb.
Mikey on with the rail charge as well. 100 in the pocket. Can he find it on the Mickey? Not quite. Trick plays, trying to take out the Winston from the engage, and he does so. Mikey does have a rail on a Mickey at the end of the day with that overclock onto Emerald as well, taking out every single member one by one, and they're just hunting them all the way down. Goku has found his way on the back line somehow, and the last kunai goes into Blue Jays back after a single response. Not flawless for the side of Bing Bong, but it's good enough as a second headshot lands. Goku just railing through all of the members of this team.
Well, unfortunately, Bing Bong Esports has the strong ult advantage here. RIT has a couple of ults they could use, so if they come out early with the Kitsune Rush, they might actually be able to do something. They have to ult before Bing Bong does, though. That's how they're going to win this.
A double support on the list, so it's a big chance for staying alive here. Let's see what ends up happening. There's the Graviton, and at least there's some action around it, but there is another damage ult. Keeping them alive is both the support ults from RIT, and Minky still with another, but Sep, though, he falls. No more tank, and Baby Satan also goes down. She has absolutely no chance. Emerald trying to keep the team alive, just alone now, and the Death Blossom comes out from Blue Jay, can find only one as he gets taken out by his clone. Sin with one, Trick with yet another. On to Emerald City, no more healers once again, and RIT almost being wiped. The objective completely off the board for Bing Bong.
Oh, see, that was unfortunate because I do believe it was RIT who initiated with the ults early, and they did a really good job of containing what was the sort of main damage dealing ult combo right there, the Zarya Grav, and then the Reaper Death Blossom on top of it. Great handling of that, like actually really well done. Baby Satan there knocking the Reaper away, the sound barrier coming in there too, just great Lucio play all around. Unfortunately, they weren't really able to capitalize on any of their ults offensively. They just did good work on the defense, and what ended up happening was after that ult usage, it was just sort of the status quo again. And in the status quo, Bing Bong Esports, they're gonna win here, right, Anton? Like that's just how it's looking. So looks like it has the potential to be a bit of a rough Ilios well here.
Yeah, this is a really mechanical matchup right now. Trick plays switching on over to the Tracer, which I think we've seen a lot more in the online season rather than at Overwatch League Champions. But here you go with Blue Jay trying to make some stuff happen with the Symmetra, maybe able to catch off that Tracer being so low on HP, just darting around the map. But here we go with the Echo as well. Mikey is able to find one. Very nice pickup on a Minky. It's taken down so low by those second-hand grenades, and another one on an Emerald. Is doing a lot of work on this Echo right now, and some more damage on a Blue Jay. Can he find another kill? Not quite. Finds a sentry, and finally Blue Jay dies to his teammate. Trick plays, finds a couple off the board, and Mikey finishes up yet again. Seems like any agent, any character, any hero, excuse me, on this guy, he can make it work. And they've already driven them back all the way to spawn. RIT yet again have no entrance.
Yeah, and Seb forced to swap here as well, so a disadvantage in the old game to a certain extent. Mikey just getting out of dodge right there. Does have that pocket of Sin too. So they're really going to have to try hard to shut down that high-flying duo if they're going to get around the massive amount of DPS that's being put out here by Mikey. Great job shutting it down.
Yeah, Blue Jay with one. The thing is, one of his teammates already falls. The thing is, also, Sin does go down. So nice hit scan play coming out from Blue Jay. A couple kills already been had. Trick, though, has a full refresh on all his health. And he's playing around them so well with a bomb in his back pocket as well. So let's see what he can do with this. Finds an entrance, but he's taken out by Minky. Nice gunplay and a sight switch, almost. A good contest from the side of Bing Bong. It's basically at about 90% right now. Mikey trying to keep them upright. But it's still so weird with that duplicate. Can he find anything with this? He does have an ult in his back pocket, and Primal Rage does come out. And he's punching everyone pretty much off the site, but the stick comes through, and it's not going to find any kills here. And Goku is the one to go down. So the healer off the board for Bing Bong. A lot of work being done by RIT. Another kill on to Mikey from Minky. And it looks like they do have a sight switch.
Good stall though from Bing Bong Esports. Big credit to Mikey for a good choice to clone Seb right there, get that Winston ult in play, and just add to the delay, right? Such a good delaying ult is that Primal, and just used perfectly right here. You also see Bing Bong, they're taking their time on the regroup, and unfortunately RIT I don't think is really taking advantage of this momentum gap.
Another bomb up for Trick, but doesn't find a connection. And some more damage though. Blue Jay, okay, he falls right in. Nice shot by Guku with that boop, and Mikey with yet another cleanup on Emerald City. That's even trades around the board for now, but the Primal, I think that's just gone right off the map. No, Seth does save himself. Removes Mikey from the equation. The aforementioned player that had already gotten some kills, but Seth, now he's finally run out. They do manage to keep this point under their control, though. Guku trying to just play around with them for a little bit. No longer on the Kiriko. Prefers the wall riding, prefers the mobility of this.
Oh no!
Which is pretty fair, but Trick as well as Sin taking out 2, and Blue Jay with response onto the former. But another nail on the wall is Blue Jay as OKS and Mikey come in with stereo frags, and Bing Bong seem to want to flip this back in their favor.
Absolute worst thing that could happen right there was both the healers dying within seconds of each other. Fortunately, Bing Bong Esports used their Lucio sound barrier and reset Sin on the Moira, so the distinct ult advantage here is for RIT, but they have to get a regroup in. They can't bleed kills here. They just don't have the time. This is one fight territory, and they need to win on the back of these support ults.
Yeah, the thing is, it's another duplicate for Mikey. Let's see who he chooses. Another Winston ulti, and he's going for the zaps all up in their opponent's bubbles. And he's just going for everything right now. Emerald needs to get out, and he seems to not be able to. 90%, and there goes the Primal. When's he gonna pop it? He's already got one. Sins with one answer, and Blue Jay with a response. But there you go, the fists, and he gets taken out. But the cleanup comes out from the beam. OKS with another one. And that is a big overtime. They have to win one fight. RIT, they just have to stay alive, and it seems like it's not gonna happen. Taken down. There is no more opportunity for them in the first section of this map.
Well, unfortunate indeed, because it did look like RIT was beginning to hit their level a little bit right there, Anton, if I'm being honest. You look at sort of the choices they were making, and they were good, and they were finding what they needed to do. The downside was that the support suddenly started getting caught out, right? We hadn't seen a lot of deaths there for Baby Satan and Emerald City that weren't sort of coming at the end of the play, right? Like, once the fight was over, they were starting to die. In that specific situation, when you needed them alive the most, they both got killed right within a split second of each other, which meant their sound barrier and then the Kiriko rush, both of those taken off the field. And that was the worst possible thing that could have happened, because it stopped them from taking the momentum early on in that next fight. And once they didn't have the momentum anymore, they didn't have the healing. It was a very simple matter there for Bing Bong Esports to just overwhelm them on the front line.
Yeah, and I guess that's really considering Bing Bong. We talked about them before, right? They're so well versed together as a team, so they're communicating. Let's just take out the healers, and that's exactly what they did. They knew. They had a feeling there were a couple of ultimates up. They haven't popped them in a while, so there was a chance for RIT maybe to get another point flip, but Bing Bong just did not allow. They just didn't want anything to do with that. So that is map number 1 again to Bing Bong. And these guys look so freaking good, even in that play of the game. Like, just mechanically, just as a team together, coordination-wise, everything. Mikey's always good on the rails. It's unfortunate that we didn't get to see him on the Sudden in the second map, but honestly, the Echo looked just as good in his hands.
Yeah, very, very well indeed. And the Echo was a huge, very effective pick, but I do want to give a little bit of credit over onto the other side. RIT actually did a really great job of shutting that Echo down, at least initially. When the Cassidy swap came in, it was an instant impact, right? And we felt that the Echo's damage was a little bit sort of taken off the board for a while. I think that actually would have been maintained if it had not been for the fact that so soon after they lost their healers, because then it prevented the Cassidy from staying alive to really do the damage that was needed. That's why we saw the big play at the end there with the clone of the Winston yet again to just delay time and be very disruptive, but very good Echo play across the board. I think a huge winning piece of the puzzle right there.
Yeah, I want to ask as well, because I don't think Echo is like anywhere close to as popular, even like not obviously not in the professional scene, and not even in like pub play. But I want to ask, why do you think that is? Because you see a lot of Pharahs around, like rocket launchers all over the place. I see a lot of people either being okay at her, or they're launching like 12,000 damage across the board in like one single map of a capture point.
I think the problem with Echo vis-a-vis Pharah is I think that Pharah is just in the better position as a flyer right now. The rocket range, the kind of ease of use, I think is a little bit better on the side of the Pharah. Echo obviously has a lot of, really good stopping power. She can do a lot of things. But in the 5v5 gameplay, when you have to marry a support, right, to a specific flyer, I just think Pharah edges are out in this day and age in terms of survivability and in terms of defense. The flyers in general, like, I mean, far as more popular in the lower ranks, I want to say the Flyers in general are sort of struggling right now, which makes sense because the Flyers aren't that great, right? If somebody rushes your team down or jumps on your team, it's not the best kind of anti-dive defense. And in the 5v5, dedicating a support slot and a DPS slot to one combo that actually doesn't have a huge presence on the front line, that's a big sacrifice you have to make there. The payoff has to be really, really good.
Yeah, and speaking of payoff, it looks like we do have a payload map coming up. Kings Row yet again for the side of RIT Academy. Their choice, by the way, because of course they ended up losing their first map. So interesting, they bring it to Bing Bong's, I mean, pretty convincing victory. I think they lost one section of it, one little payload cap from their opponents. But I mean, honestly, that is just not even. They capped the payload. And then they just get stuck behind when I think it was Goku and Trick or something like that. This Kitsune rushed their spawn. I don't even know if there's anything to say about that at that point. It's like they're just really rubbing salt in the wound.
Yeah, rubbing salt on the wound is a good way to describe it. And I mean, again, I do think we've seen flashes here, though, I should say, from RIT. I don't think they're as kind of on the back foot as the previous opponent that Bing Bong have faced. I think there is potential here. The challenge is, and something that always becomes really difficult in Overwatch series, is getting the level of your opponent and realizing what you have to do to adapt to their gameplay style fast enough to implement those changes to get success, right? You only have 2 maps really to do it. And Overwatch 2 is a fast-paced game. This is a chaotic, fast-paced shooter nowadays. You really have to be on the ball with the swaps and the changes to make the things happen that you need to have happen. Looking at these 2 defensive setups, I mean, I think the defensive and the attacking setup here, I think RIT Esports is presenting a really interesting proposition with the Reinhardt and the Bastion. It feels to me a little bit more sedentary of a comp. That's going to go directly into, I think, what Bing Bong Esports is showing us, which is something that I would consider a lot more divey, a lot more mobile, especially if Goku coming out here on the Zenyatta. Okay, wow, they're just swapping all over the place. So I'm not even going to speculate. I'm not going to speculate until we've locked it down. I think they're going to try and teleport right up onto the top of that statue, would be my guess. No, okay, we're going to Widowmaker instead. Fine, let it stay that way.
There's a lot of swaps there, not a lot of time. But yeah, he's just trying to find a pick, goes right back. I think he wants to Sojourn nonetheless. Yeah, Mikey, he's been literally probably the best Sojourn that we've seen today, just hands down. So I would be surprised if he didn't opt for that so far. But they're gonna go right back into it and send the Reinhardt up. And front lines meet shields right back and forth, and Mikey's already found himself very low, but they can't manage to punish. Lamp comes out. Mikey with the movement manages to keep himself alive, but he's found the back lines of one of the members here and takes out Lank. Not looking great for RIT already right off the bat. One of the healers gone, Lamp gone off the table, Sin with a response. And it looks like OKS has already been taken out as well. Mikey, another headshot onto his doppelganger. Just Mikey things. Finds some more damage and tries to take out the Reinhardt from the high ground, but so far, no dice.
Yeah, this has actually been a pretty good response to the flanker here from RIT. They're going to keep this pressure on, though. And there, unfortunately, is a soft reset from RIT. They're going to have to recontest fast here, though, if they don't want to lose this first point.
Yeah, Seb close to his slam. Maybe one thing that might let them contest this for the time being. That's 2 ticks already for Bing Bong, though. They got to get in this fast. And it's still only at 99%, so it's probably not. Yeah, there goes the payload. So all a very, very fast capture for Bing Bong. Maybe even faster than they had in the previous. A bit more warmed up. Minky up with a 100 rail charge. It's going to be a little bit patient. Has to find a space. Has to try and thread the needle. But Seb being taken all the way to the back lines. Can't manage to find a pin. And taken down very, very low. Has to have his teammate save of life. He gets another Lamp going down. And Mikey with 2 kills, though. And Frick just following up Goku with a 4th. And it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, another error there in the Reinhardt versus Reinhardt duel. Seb exposed his shield a little too much. I think just got discombobulated by the charge, the counter charge, having to fall back into the immortality field. And a player as talented kind of as Ox is, right, not going to hesitate there to just get that slam in. And once the slam is down, Bing Bong Esports happy to just take that one all the way to the bank. Very, very good gain for very little ult usage. But RIT, they've got both support ults and the tank ult on the board, so this is their opportunity to really shut this push down, and they should be able to do it with what they have.
Well, let's hope for their sake that Minky doesn't manage to find any single headshot, but Obviously, there is an overclock available for Mikey and another sound barrier for both teams. It's a lot of flak being thrown down this hallway right now, and there goes the Baptiste wall as well. A Trick is the one that goes in with one single Death Blossom that ends up getting Lank at the end of the day after the lamp goes down at the start. For the second kill, Mikey even right in the middle, threading the needle onto his opponent. And Skomo also falls at the end, and Seb trying to get out does pin down one of the healers, but not much more than that.
Yeah, and it won't matter too much either because they're right here at the end of the map, so Goku should be able to get back into the fight relatively quickly. You remember earlier on in the broadcast, I was talking about how important timing is for abilities like Lucio's Speed Boost. Great example right there. The Shatter comes out from Seb. They just sped right past it. They don't even care.
That's another big duel coming out. Hammers being swung at each other, and another overclock up from Mikey again. He's getting those way too fast for their sake, and there goes the Kitsune Rush in and taking out every single player. Mikey go for one, and the Hammers knocking two of these guys down and finishing up yet again. That is an instant team kill coming out from Bing Bong.
Bing Bong is just getting massive value from their ults. I mean, absolutely massive there. 2 ults thrown into that one. Instantaneous fight win. Completely resets RIT. And they're going to have to come back into it. They need to have a huge tire here, but they've already lost Binky.
Overclock on the rocket. And Goku with another kill. It's even, just not even the DPS is doing work. It's even the healers getting all these knives into their opponent's back. And they finish off the last 2. There goes the objective all the way to the end. Bing Bong, that's our first payload cart all the way to the finish line.
Again, it's kind of what we've seen from Bing Bong Esports in their previous matches, right? It's just aggression and tempo. They just take over, really, what RIT Esports is doing, and they're dictating everything that's happening. They're dictating the engagement, they're dictating the speed of the engagement, and they're dictating the positioning of the engagement. It's such good aggressive play. It's really unfortunate RIT, they're just not able to rise to the challenge of the speed of which they're being pressured.
Yeah, none of the teams so far have had really realistic answers to what Bing Bong had been really bringing out. Maybe RIT getting the closest so far, but let's see what they're bringing out now. We have the Ana and Skomo and Blue Jay yet again on the sniper, just to start us out. But Bing Bong with a pretty standard setup. Yeah, OKS yet again. I don't think they changed anything up really. If everything is literally the same, if it works now, why fix it?
Yeah, it's kind of where we're at. I mean, it's a valid question in this sense. Bing Bong, I mean, they look very comfortable in this setup. They're playing it very well. On the other side, I mean, RIT, they've just got to find a way to pick the lock. Skomo, I really worry about Skomo on the Ana, to be honest, because Bing Bong Esports has shown such ability to penetrate deep into the back line of RIT. That Ana is just going to be constantly under pressure from somebody, whether it's Mikey or even Goku, who has been kind of just all over the place. With that pick of the Kiriko, never letting anyone really rest without those kunai come flying in.
Yeah, he's being so aggressive. This is the Kiriko you really want on your team. That's another headshot. Trick goes down very low right at the start there, and an anti on OKS though. He's not getting the healing he needs for the time being, but he's able to stay alive with their shield. Good usage by him. And now they're pushing their opponent Reinhardt back. Tries with the charge. Seb just hits the wall and splatters after Trick's headshot. Lamp goes down, and yet again, like you mentioned, Skomo worried about him. Absolutely no chance for him to get back in his spawn. Both the snipers fall.
Again, just really good sort of pressure applied to the front line right there. Good cohesive target focus on the Reinhardt. And poor Blue Jay up here on the Widowmaker, you know, trying to make something stick and really just struggling to hit the shots, which is, you know, a Widowmaker that's not hitting their shots, Anton. That's a burden, not a boon.
Yeah, it's literally, I mean, if you've played Valorant before, it's literally like a Reyna just not getting kills. You have one job, that is all you need to do, and he's even getting pushed on by Sin. That is just rude. OKS. He's taken down very low, and the healers, I mean, Sin is literally trying to kill the sniper in their opponent's spawn, but it's all good. Goku's the only one to go down, so Sin has to try and come back and help the rest of his team out. Seb's got one, and can they take the point, though? It's going to be very tight. They've got a Pip. Contest one-on-one on it, and Mikey and Sin just come back right into it. Trick following up as well. On to 5 for this guy alone, and Blue Jay has finally come out of the spawn position. Wants to try and get some forward angles, and Mikey does go down low, but can't find a follow-up shot.
Yeah, the Widowmaker just not helping out in the way that they need right now. I would be so tempted to swap this to any number of characters here. You know, if it would be a different matter if they were dropping left, right, and center of the sniper, but they're just not. That's the first kill I think that Blue Jay has gotten.
That's taking out a healer, so finds some kind of value at least. But the Ana also goes down in turn from the hammer as well, and the shotgun Trick Places goes and hunts them down. Bing Bong is just all over the board right now. Lank does find a kunai onto Kuku. Finally, a taste of his own medicine, but how much more can be done because there's so many people left standing on the side of Bing Bong, and pretty much no one on RIT is ready for this push right now. So many ults up for the defense as well, and there goes a slam from OKS, and the great pin taking him all the way to the back to Bing Bong's home. And 1 minute 30 is all RIT have to work with. Another reset coming through, but Minky with the Nano Blade comes through and does find 3, tries to finish it up on a Mikey, and he does so, and only 1 left alive, the Antsy onto the Reinhardt. The finish doesn't manage to come out though, as OKS and Trick Plays both duo on the site, and they still don't allow any of RIT to try and get in.
Finally, you see RIT stepping up here and getting some ticks, but it's not enough time for the team to regroup. Bing Bong Esports, though, will be doing it in a haphazard manner. Hey, that's not a bad use of the Shatter right there to just give them the time they need to capture this point.
And they finally end up getting it, that opening from Minky. Great played to do just that, and Bing Bong are finally getting pushed back. There's another 3 minutes on the docket. Let's see if RIT can actually manage to get all the way to the end, because Bing Bong, they were so convincing on that push. Every single team fight won, every single ult duel victory for Bing Bong, and they have a couple in their back pocket as well. Trick might want to look to try and get some back lines action into it, but Blue Jay is already here looking for some damage on the back of OKS. Mikey is trying to hunt them down because he knows Tracer's in the back somewhere, but for the time being, looks like Blue Jay does end up surviving. The Kitsune Rush is finally coming out as well from the side of RIT, looking for a deeper push. They do get a couple kills. No, excuse me, no, they get completely shut down from it. Every single kill coming out from Bing Bong after Lank expends that ultimate on the Kiriko.
Bing Bong does such a good job of handling the moments when RIT really tries to reassert the tempo. You saw the Kitsune Rush right there from Lank, and it was like it didn't even exist, right? Bing Bong just completely takes it. Now they shift it right back on the other side. Here comes the Death Blossom, and that's all they need to crack the seal here on this team fight.
Sad for Trick, he didn't actually manage to get a single final blow there, but 2 of his teammates did the job for him. And with that little combo, they've sent pretty much everyone from RIT back behind their barriers, so a lot of delay. 2 minutes is a little bit of time, but it's going to be a struggle getting the next checkpoint if they're all the way back at spawn pretty much at this point. Trying to find the backlines yet again. Blue Jay on here, almost a nuke in his back pocket, and almost a kill as well. That's so much damage done. Blue Jay heals all the way back up, but now he's being hunted. They know he's somewhere around this corner, and he just crouches, make sure he wants to stay alive for this flank yet again, and he does have this nuke in the back of OKS, does manage to find the stick as well. Nice shot from them. Minky is going to come in with the blade yet again to try and open up with his teammate. Double ultimate, and they have cracked the circuits.
Oh, they had to invest so much into that, though. That's the only problem. Ox is going to hit their Shatter soon, and RIT has nothing in the tank to answer that. They're also not going to have anything to counter Mikey's overclock when it comes online. So huge sacrifices there, and I just have to hope that the games are worth it. Good aggressive positioning from RIT, but they cannot get split up.
Yeah, Lank did get a kill, so it's a good real pick on the Trick. No real pressure able to be exerted on their backlines, and then maybe Mikey trying to get in, but OKS, there goes a slam. Got it available for the now. What else is there? Real charge for Mikey, and a lot of punishment coming inside for the Tracer. Has to try and get out, does manage to stay alive. And it's hammers on hammers right now in the front lines of both teams. Shield's almost down, and LKS does fall completely to Blue Jay, so doing a lot of work to take out the tanks on the backlines. Minky also falls to Guku, though, so RIT not looking too good. They're managing to get this push a little bit over the line, and they do have another checkpoint, so another minute to work with on the board added on to their remaining time, but still so much stall from Bing Bong. Couple ults in their back pocket. Kuku's got the Kitsune, and Mikey with the overclock still that he has not used, and it looks like they're going through right now, trying to get the push all the way, and the Reaper is just trying to hit the shotgun shells all the way to the back, asleep onto the Reinhardt, and everyone is getting hunted one by one. Skomo goes down, Seb falls deeper than a deep sleep, and it looks like that is another wipe, another forced reset from RIT.
Still about a minute and 20 seconds left on the clock here for RIT. You've probably got at least 2 more, probably 3 more team fights. You're also very close to Mickey's Blade, which has been a big make or break moment here. But Bing Bong Esports, they're going to have 3 ults online. All of them can do a serious amount of damage here. Seb's trying to get a cheeky shatter in underneath the card. It doesn't work.
Oh! That is unlucky. He had such a big opportunity to make an entrance there, but now he just wants to do it with his body. He's trying to get all the way in, but there goes the Death Blossom for Trick Plays. Double kill, 1 healer, and the tank gone. Mikey with the overclock as well, and they're looking to end it here and now. 40 seconds, but everyone's falling one by one. Minky tried to get in with the dash, and he does manage to find the tank out of all people, but Bing Bong hit again. They keep 4 alive.
Nano Blade on deck, though. That could be a fight-winning combo, but you're into such dangerous territory with 30 seconds left on the board. You have to get this blade, and it has to be huge. It's all you have left in the tank.
Looking to get in, and they're ready for it. Somo, he's going to toss it in, and there goes the Nano Blade, but the stun coming out, and that is an absolute disaster. It does nothing. Minky gets shut down by Cuckoo. What an amazing play and a sleep on the OKS, but quickly awoken, and you don't want to wake up this beast because he's going to rip through your entire team. Skomo down, Seb off the board, and Minky now has to try and get out, but it's not going to happen. Blue Jay is respawning with that bomb soon, but the overtime is ticking, and he has to get all the way on, and surely there's no chance, right? 98% has to find something, but they recall back, and they know exactly where he is. He's going to try and drop a stick onto one of these players, but it falls onto thin air, and there should be no chance at this point. Bing Bong to lose a couple, so trying to stay in it is RIT. Has the tank on the site as well, but they're really struggling at this point. Really struggling. The more they get on this, the shorter the overtime is really going to play, but it's really just back and forth. Trick is trying to find the shots, not having any connection so far. It's back and forth so hard, but Life finally finds an opening. One of the healers down for the side of Bing Bong, but another Death Blossom. How's he gotten 2 in such a short amount of time? Trick almost falling, but finally fades away. And it's all at the end of the day. Bing Bong yellow in the kill feed as Minky, the only one to find anything. There goes the end. There goes Bing Bong with the map.
Great healer sustained right there from Bing Bong Esports to just keep in that fight. You saw an absolutely critical Suzu use there as well by Guku to just keep it alive. I mean, I've got to give credit to Minky making huge plays, but at the tail end there, that Nano Blade, it's just so unfortunate. And that's one of the big issues when you put everything on the back of one ult in desperation situations like that. You have to expect your proponents to be prepared to deal with that. And that's exactly what happened right there. They knew it was coming. They're tracking their ults. They're top 500 players. They're definitely tracking their ults. They know what's going to happen. And the minute it goes into play, they react accordingly. And that's the end of it.
Yeah, that is a crazy fast shutdown. Not something you see every day in Hall of Heroes, but admittedly, this is the first one. So hopefully, I mean, we're gonna have these pretty much every single week coming up, right? I don't think we're slowing down anytime soon. This has been a great set of games here that we've had here today. And it has been a pleasure casting with you, Corbeck. I mean, I mentioned before, I talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast. I talked about it in the breaks as well. I happen to be like one of those Valorant nerds, right? But coming over into Overwatch, I love listening to all these different analytical takes, why some stuff works, why Bing Bong is just so good. They're working together as a team, like you mentioned, the coordination, the way they just absolutely destroyed Minky's ult. I mean, poor guy. Like I played the game, I know how that feels, and unfortunately I don't have any top 500 players on my team usually, so it's usually me getting shut down like that, but nonetheless, like, yeah, consolation to RIT Academy. They put on a good show, and I gotta admit, they put on a little bit of a fight, but Bing Bong coming in with this roster, I mean, these guys are just, they're hard diffing their opponents. I mean, well-deserved victory from them.
Yeah, definitely a well-deserved victory, and you know it was a classic Overwatch victory too. Like you said, good coordination, good combos. They were using their ults well, ticking all the boxes, right? And there's a reason that there are only 500 top 500 players, right? So they were clearly demonstrating right there. But happy to see Hall of Heroes get off to a good start. Some exciting Overwatch games, some big plays out there, some good highlight reel stuff, and it's exactly what you want right out of your inaugural Overwatch tourney here on a nice Monday evening.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, we can't set off without thanking the things that are making this all possible, right? Because of course, we have, as I mentioned before, Community Gaming is providing pretty much everything that we have to offer right now, $50 to the winners. So congratulations yet again to Bing Bong for claiming that prize. But of course, Valorant on Wednesdays. We're going to have one literally in 2 days. So come back and tune in if you want to see some Valorant action. A lot technically bigger. I mean, there's a lot more teams that play Valorant that are used to us, but hopefully we get more teams that are going in the Overwatch scene that we'll have up in the weeks incoming as well. But yeah, for now, Wednesday Valorant, another Monday. The next Monday we have more Overwatch coming up. But of course, HyperX, which we haven't thanked. I apologize that I haven't shouted them out, but HyperX and Greenlight providing pretty much the stuff that we have in the physical lounge. Greenlight, our ISP, has been absolutely amazing. I promise that they're not responsible for the outages that we had today, unfortunately. Yeah, so up there, if you're actually in the lounge, you literally play Overwatch with like 1 ping, which is kind of crazy. But not only do you have food and drink and like lounge, like couches that you can sit with your friends and play console games, you can play Overwatch on the PCs, you have Valorant, you have pretty much everything you could ask for there. Some Steam games as well, it's awesome. And then you have like a cafe area where I think it's like Byte Rochester or something. You can go and order some stuff and just have some fun with your friends. So it's an absolutely amazing place, and yeah, absolutely amazing. Fiber optic internet, which is something that we obviously don't have in our production, but fingers crossed we can get that eventually all over the planet. And of course, last but certainly not least, to support us directly, we have the Country Club, which does net you not only access to the tournaments for free, guaranteed, front of the line, even if the tournament fills up, but it also lets you access the lounge itself. So sign up for that if you want to be, if you're in Rochester, and of course, and if you want guaranteed access to lounge for every single month. That is an option, glgaminglounges.com. You can find out more information about that. But we also have a Discord, !Discord, and Twitter. Same thing, !Twitter, if you want to keep up with some news and information. But for the time being, I think that's just about it. I mean, Karbek, anything else to say?
No, pleasure to be here. Happy casting with you, and I look forward to seeing more Halls of Heroes to come.
Absolutely. So without further ado, we're gonna let you guys go to enjoy your night, enjoy your dinner, or maybe, I mean, I don't know where you guys are, or maybe you're just waking up at this point. It's like epic gamer hours right now, right? So 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Have a good night, guys, and take it easy.
Looking like it's all over. Hold up. Maybe not! Are you serious?
My name is Ben Garvey, and I founded Great Lakes Gaming with one goal: to create an exclusive club for casual and competitive gamers to come together, full stop. Every week, GLG hosts esports competitors of all ages with real prize pool tournaments and a live broadcast to Twitch.
One actually does come through for Jenny. The second, the third, the fourth.
With thousands of followers and hundreds of weekly players, the GLG community is thriving more than ever. And now we're building a better experience for our players. And we're setting the bar high. No, literally, 22 stories high.
Welcome to the Gaming Lounge, the first of its kind, located on the 22nd floor of Innovation Square in downtown Rochester, New York. That's right, this space is built just for you, with the latest and greatest in gaming gear and plenty of space for you to claim that little bit of glory. As you enter the Gaming Lounge, you'll be welcomed at our reception desk, and behind that, our main office. Here, we'll produce our professional broadcasts and turn those sick plays into the GLG highlight reels you've come to love. LAN tournaments, viewing parties, that all happens here in the viewing room. And if you need a little practice to start actually winning for once, spend some time in a team practice room.
At some point, you'll need to touch some grass and maybe grab a bite to eat. So we partner with local cafe and restaurant, Byte Rochester, to provide fresh and healthy snacks at our cafe in the clouds. And of course, the crown jewel, the gaming room, stacked with hardware from limited edition consoles to top-of-the-line gaming PCs. Yeah, that's right, we've got GPUs. And if that's not enough, we've got 2 more private streaming booths fully prepared to take your following to the moon. The GLG Lounge is the ultimate space to stream, host, and hang, with no compromises, all built for your next win in the clouds. Grab your GLG membership today at glgaminglounges.com.